Your sister can help us. Although just a handmaiden, she has Marjorie Tyrell's favor. And Lady Marjorie's betrothal to the king may be enough to keep the Boltons at bay. If it's presented to her as it should be.
Mirror Forrester, Red Keep, King's Landing.
Asher sent me this coin to remember him.
Spiel, ein Wechsel der Person. Willkommen zurück zu Game of Thrones. Mein Name ist Quarko und ich wünsche euch viel Spaß.
It was very kind of Lady Marjorie to give this to me. It once
Eine
belonged to
Goldmünze.
Lady Olenna.
Oh, mehrere Münzen. Junkai.
Ethan made this for me.
Aus Highgarden.
Father,
Unser
much
Ladebildschirm.
excitement here in King's Landing for the coming wedding.
Oder
Lady
zumindest einer
Marjorie
der
has proven
Bildschirme.
to be quite popular throughout the city. I do wish you and Mother could come, although I know it would be impossible under the circumstances. I miss all of you.
Ja, das
And I
hat ja
look
sehr viel
forward to
gebracht.
the day
Dann
you
lesen wir den Brief mal.
Wonders Made by Man by Lomas Longstrider. A gift from Roderick.
Und da hatte sie keine Lust mehr weiterzuschreiben.
I hope to see them all someday.
Obst. Naja, das können wir nicht auswählen. Was haben wir denn hier?
King's Landing. I wonder if it's sunny at Ironrath today.
Tja, da haben wir leider schlechte Nachrichten. Schauen wir mal
It
aus dem
troubles me
Fenster.
to even ask this of you, but you must appeal to Lady Marjorie to intervene on our behalf. She is our best hope, and can
Da
be a
regnet's Blut.
powerful ally,
Zumindest
especially
demnächst.
now when your family so desperately needs her help.
Ein Brief der Mutter. Tja, vielleicht nicht die schlechteste Idee.
Oh, sorry, milady.
Wir waren doch noch nicht fertig, oder?
I can come back later if you'd
Ah,
like.
wir können die Tür öffnen, müssen wir aber anscheinend noch nicht. Ah, doch. Was anderes haben wir nicht zu tun.
No, it's fine. Come in.
Ja. Immer mit der Ruhe.
Begging your pardon, milady, but you all right? If you don't mind my asking.
Ah,
You
ich weiß
seem
nicht.
rather upset.
I'm fine, thank you.
Of course, milady.
Please hurry if you can. Lady Marjorie will be here any minute.
Of course,
Was
milady.
macht der da?
You work for Lady Marjorie? I may be wrong, but it
Das geht dir
seems
nichts
like you
an.
do.
Ich weiß ja nicht mal, wer der
Her
ist.
handmaiden.
That's what I thought. I've seen you with her before. You seem like good friends. I saw Lady Marjorie just this morning, outside the Royal Sept, talking to Queen Cersei.
Cersei?
They appeared to be having some sort of disagreement. I couldn't hear much, but it was definitely an argument.
What did they say?
I couldn't make out much, but I know they were talking about the Starks and House Forrester.
House Forrester?
Die
I hope you're not in any
Lieblingsperson.
kind of trouble.
Oder die
Well,
Mutter
I thought
unserer
you ought to
Lieblingsperson.
Most people don't tend to notice a callboy. Not in King's Landing, with so many lords and ladies about. You see and hear all sorts of things when people don't even know you're there.
Mhm.
Good night, milady.
Lady Marjorie, you're
Deshalb ist er
early.
also so dreckig.
I was hoping there would be time for us to
Das war
talk.
Kohle.
Come, there's something we must discuss. From the day you arrived in Highgarden, I've thought of you more
Ach,
as a
die
friend
kennen wir
than
doch.
as my handmaiden. A dear friend, in fact.
Thank you, my lady.
And you know how I feel about what's happened to your family. I feel
Jedenfalls
your
durch diesen
pain
schönen
as if it were
Garten.
my own. What you've suffered is beyond imagining. And your poor family as well.
You're very kind, my lady.
Of course, Mira, but you must not despair. We will get through this together.
Das ist schon mal gut.
You must understand there are limits to what I can say, especially here in King's Landing, now that I am to be queen. To have a handmaiden from the north whose family fought for Robb Stark. It raises questions at a time I can least afford. Cersei herself cornered me this morning outside the royal sept. She mentioned the northern girl in my service, and she painted you a traitor.
Okay, soweit ist es fortgeschritten.
She was very pleased with herself. Her face was full of mirth as she said it.
Na toll,
What
werden
does
wir
she
jetzt
intend to
gefeuert?
do?
She intends to make you miserable, knowing that will make me miserable as well. She demands an audience. She wants an apology of some sort. For what, I don't know, but she's waiting for us now, and I promised I would bring you to
Na
her.
super.
I wouldn't ask this of you if it were not important. I cannot afford any conflict with Cersei with the wedding so near.
What do I say?
Find a way to appease her.
Das wird nicht einfach.
Humor her. Tell her what she wants to hear.
Dass ihr Sohn der Größte ist?
See if the Queen Regent is ready to receive us. You'll be fine. I know you will. You may feel one thing, but you must say another.
Okay. Schön das falsche Lächeln aussetzen.
Good luck.
Auch interessant, dass das ein Spiel zu einer Serie, zu einem Buch ist. Aber das muss ja nichts Schlechtes sein. Aber warum sollte man jetzt auch für Marjorie ein komplett anderes Aussehen wählen? Wäre ein bisschen seltsam.
You can do this.
Okay, nochmal tief durchatmen, das falsche Lächeln aufsetzen und los geht's. Wir können uns ein bisschen umgucken. Da ist ja unser begehrter Thron. Oh, Cersei und
Lady
Tyrion.
Marjorie, aren't you looking lovely this evening?
Lord Tyrion. Your Grace? With your permission, allow me to introduce Lady Mira of House Forrester.
Your Grace.
Natürlich. The Queen is
Girl
pleased,
knows
das ist schon mal
her
gut.
courtesies. Impressive. You may rise.
House Forrester is a northern house loyal to the king.
Are they?
I beg your pardon, Your Grace.
I wasn't talking to you. I want to hear from the girl. Is your family loyal to the king?
Natürlich.
Perhaps you should ask the new Lord Forrester.
He's not here, is he? She is.
House Forrester's loyalty to the crown never wavers, Your Grace.
I see. And yet, for centuries the Forresters have been loyal bannermen to House Stark. A house of traitors.
They were the Wardens of the North. We all served at the pleasure of the king.
Clever girl.
Perhaps too clever for her own good.
Ups.
The girl did say their loyalty was unwavering.
She has a talent for equivocation, yet I question what she really
Oh
is.
yeah.
Is your house willing to swear fealty to your new liege lord, Roose Bolton?
Yes, Your Grace. Absolutely.
I see. Despite the fact Roose Bolton allied with Walder Frey. If it was me, I'd find it difficult to so quickly forgive the men who killed my
Ach, komm schon.
Old allegiances are not easily abandoned. But now that the war is over, we must look to rebuild and forge new alliances. There are ships and shields to be built, and Joffrey will need a steady supply of ironwood for his armies. I'm told there are others who would happily serve that purpose, but I trust we can rely on House Forrester.
Natürlich.
Forster Ironwood does seem rather unique.
Yes, Your Grace.
It would be a shame to see it fall into the hands of another house. I imagine you'd do almost anything to prevent that from happening, wouldn't you? Ask any Lannister, and they'd do whatever was necessary to save Casterly Rock. It would be unfortunate to see another house lay claim to what's yours.
There are limits, Your Grace.
Perhaps, but not if your house faces potential ruin.
What would you have the girl do, Cersei? It's not as if she fought beside the Starks, wielding a battle axe for the Northern Army.
Sympathisch wie eh und je.
It raises an interesting question, I suppose. Can we truly blame those who end up on the wrong side of the wall? Our dear Marjorie here was betrothed to Renly Baratheon on the false assumption that he would one day rule the Seven Kingdoms. Can we fault her for her mistake? Should she be held accountable?
I'm sure she regrets it.
Na toll.
Perhaps not.
If there's a point to this, I hope you find it quickly.
Loyalty can be such a hard thing to define. This city alone is filled with all sorts of ambitious opportunists looking to reinvent themselves, pretending to be something they're not. Who knows what lurks within their hearts? You are a girl from the north, here in service to Lady Marjorie. One can only assume her interests are yours. Yet loyalty to a king, that must be absolute, beyond question. And if your loyalties were to become conflicted between your king and the very person whom you serve, what would you do then?
Natürlich.
I'm sure she
Let the
would...
girl answer the question. Go on.
I would be true to the king, Your Grace.
Well said. I was beginning to worry you didn't have your priorities.
Natürlich mussten wir das sagen. Marjorie wird sich das merken. Was soll das?
She is a threat to the crown, isn't she? The most dangerous handmaiden in all of King's Landing.
Tyrion ist echt super.
My sense is this girl will say almost anything to get what
Na
she
toll.
wants. Which is not very encouraging. I'd like a word with you, if I may.
Of course, Your Grace.
Toll. Wir haben's verkackt. Das war nicht gut. Tyrion, sag was.
I'll walk you out. This may come as a surprise, but I met your father once, at the tourney at Lannisport. Even then he didn't trust Roose Bolton. We only spoke briefly, but your father struck me as an honorable man. You have my condolences for his loss. These would be trying times for your family, even under the best of circumstances.
Thank you, Lord Tyrion. That's very kind of you to say.
That certainly took courage. To so publicly declare your loyalty to Joffrey for all to hear. Poor Lady Marjorie was humiliated, although Cersei seemed quite pleased. It was quite the first impression. I, of course, found it all highly entertaining.
I did it for Lady Marjorie.
Rather odd, if that's what she asked of you. But I'm sure she has your best interests at heart. My sister and I have our differences. She takes great pleasure in her little charades. I take mine in thwarting them. We must find our amusements where we can. She threatened to give your ironwood to another house. It is the Master of Coin who decides such matters. The crown needs boats, Boats need wood, and I speak for the crown in this regard, not her.
What are you suggesting?
Stimmt,
I
er hieß
suppose
Master
the
of Crown.
crown could be persuaded to secure ironwood from House Forrester. Lady Marjorie might not look favorably on such an alliance, and it would infuriate Cersei. Although what would be amusing for me might prove rather dangerous for you and your house. Are you willing to risk that? It may be far too dangerous.
Ja.
It's a risk I'm willing to take, Lord Tyrion. Please.
You are a brave girl, aren't you? I'll consider it. Now, if you'll excuse me, I promised Sansa I would join her for dinner tonight. 3 beautiful bottles of Dornish wine await my arrival.
I hope we meet again.
Nothing would make Cersei happier. Until then, be careful. This is not the North. King's Landing can be a nest of vipers to the uninitiated.
Tja. Mich wundert es, dass jetzt kein Kapitel vorbei ist. Na gut, es scheint weiterzugehen.
Mira, I was worried. How was it? Cersei has a way of looking at you as though you're nothing.
Nicht wirklich.
It didn't go very well.
I'm sorry. Cersei is known for being rather difficult. But at least it's over now.
Da wäre ich nicht so sicher.
Lady Marjorie has spent the entire day working on seating arrangements for the wedding.
Ach ja,
Of course,
die
you and I are
Hochzeit.
seated way at the back. Here with the 4th cousins and the 9th-born sons. Ah, Sir Jaime. I wouldn't mind tarnishing that white cloak of his.
Sarah!
What? It's true.
Ja, der hat aber nur Augen für andere
And
Personen.
Oberyn Martell, the Red
Oh,
Viper.
oh. Ja.
I'm told he has a paramour. Which I doubt is Dornish for wife.
He is quite handsome.
And quite passionate. From what
Ja,
I've heard.
und, naja, ihr kennt die Geschichte ja
Perhaps Lady
hoffentlich.
Marjorie could make the right introductions.
Der Mountain.
Who knows? We might meet our future husbands. Although, marrying a king, I can only imagine what that would be like.
Nein, ich finde King Joffrey ist.
Would you marry Joffrey if it meant you'd become queen? He does have a certain look about him. And he's always treated Lady Marjorie
Nein.
well.
I'd be willing to marry, but not Joffrey.
Well, I would marry him. Imagine the power you
Ja,
would
toll.
have as Queen of the 7 Kingdoms. I might even allow you to be my handmaiden. Let's see, who else should we marry off? Brienne of Tarth and Tyrion Lannister.
Natürlich.
What a perfect match. Sir Bronn and...
What are you doing? Well? Sarah?
I'm sorry, my lady.
As am I. We shouldn't have been messing about.
This is not a game. It's a battle plan. Allies and enemies can be made with every move. Yet they say it is men who are powerful.
Tja.
The Queen was pleased by your display, Mira. I'm just glad it's over. King's Landing can be exhausting sometimes. There's always someone to please or some perceived slight to smooth over. I fear it will only get worse when I am queen.
Once they know your true heart, the lords and ladies will have no choice but to love you.
Abwarten.
Do you agree?
Once you are queen, the lords and ladies will do their best to please you.
You learn very quickly.
Aha.
You were brave agreeing to obey the Boltons. That cannot have been easy.
Nicht wirklich.
I know you must fear what Lord Bolton might do to your family. I do appreciate your willingness to appease her, as difficult as it may have been.
Thank you, my lady. There's been something on my mind. Something important.
Komm schon, wir versuchen's.
I did have a favor to ask of you in return.
Whatever you wish to say, you can say it in front of Sarah. There are no secrets between us.
It's about my family.
I trust her.
Okay. Ob das mal ein Fehler ist?
Go on. Ask.
Please, Ramsay Snow is on his way to Ironrath to see my brother bend the knee.
Ramsay? Roose Bolton's bastard?
I fear my family will suffer if Ramsay is left to do as he likes. But if a raven could be sent to the Boltons to let them know House Forrester has the protection of the crown...
That is no small request.
Yeah.
Especially now. Joffrey knows only too well your family fought for the Starks. And now you would have me ask him to intervene? Is the situation that dire?
You can't, my lady. King Joffrey won't like it. Just think how he turned on Lady Sansa.
My mother feels it is urgent, my lady. She's unfamiliar with King's Landing and its politics. I hope you can understand that.
Oh je.
Very well. I'll make your request, but I cannot promise anything.
Thank you, my lady. I will send a raven to my family at once.
Das war's für heute. Macht's gut, bis zum nächsten Mal. Tschüss.